Well, good morning. I'm going to try something a little new today. Just starting right from the foundation of identifying Sun King as the energetic expression that's arriving into the space-time grid of our world from eternity, from the timeless realm, using this body and person, Louis Bourgeois, as its communication device. This is our function as we step into our new earth, Homo globulus, Homo spiritus. This is the way in which we will learn, taking baby steps together, to operate. Okay? It's key that we can make the shift with our consciousness from being humans, maybe having occasional spiritual insights or spiritual awareness, to actually the spiritual awareness using the person and the body as its communication device. So it's a remarkable shift in our perspective, because again, we see our role caring for the communication device, caring for the body, caring for the person, enjoying that relationship that this body and person has with other bodies, other persons, but that not being its primary function. Just like caring for the car that we would use for transportation of the bodies and the persons, taking it to the mechanic, feeding it gasoline and oil. It's a device. It's a device that is valuable, useful, but we don't think of ourselves as that. So again, it's delightful to imagine, and I will spend time with you discussing this way of being and how different it is. For example, the body has a potential to become injured or ill, and so it calls for our care to keep it functioning. Doesn't really matter so much if the body is disabled in the sense of, let's say I no longer can walk like the body did when it was 20. How does that affect my function? My function, meaning Sun King's function? Not at all. Not at all. I mean, you'll see in my presentations that I'm just sitting, the body's just sitting here in a chair. There's no reason to walk. There's no reason for great physical performance. Now, sometimes I choose for my delight to use the body for hiking around the quebrada, being outside in the sun. So it's, one of the things that I know as Sun King that is part of caring for this body is to spend time in the sun. Okay, literally the sun, which is my emblematic symbol. The sun is so valuable to the body. The sun will do more to keep the body that I'm using healthy, peaceful. It's really good that the body is as neutral as possible. Okay, neutral, like not in any kind of imbalance. So it's more functional. It's more useful. Very important to appreciate, give great blessing on a daily, moment by moment basis to this body. Okay. But again, we would like it to be as healthy in the sense of being neutral, okay, just being in balance. So, okay, so the body responds greatly, as does the person, the mental, emotional body, to this energetic body, okay, the energy body, which is really literally sort of what I am. If I described Sun King, it's not an entity per se, it's an energetic reality that manifests in this body and person. Okay, so because this energetic reality is so powerful, so pure, it will inform the person and the body, which will show up as happy or excited or whatever. It's just energy is energy. Okay. Energy being so pure is not affected by the space-time world. And we see it manifesting in all kinds of ways. And when you watch a seed germinate, this energy, I mean, it's really quite profound. And if you spend time observing the germination of seeds, you see this endless flow, okay, this energetic flow that always will want to take form. Okay. So here with the human body, the energetic reality takes form and uses, see, the thing that's fascinating to me, okay, me, a Sun King, is I've been looking through the eyes of this body for 60 something years. And I can remember how the body in person that I'm looking through would sometimes be like wondering, what are you? What are you? Like there would be there were many years where there was a conflict because the person in the body that I was using for my expression wasn't clear about its function, and it was running great interference patterns, even to the point of threatening extinction. Okay. But I kept informing it, no, it's not. It's not time. You're a very useful device. I need you. I'd like to keep you around for a while longer. But I can remember now, this body and person, these interactions between the I am, Sun King, and the space-time device that kept changing, right? I was 6, I was 16, I was 26, I was 30, the body kept morphing into something else. But Sun King, was a steady state, looking through its eyes, going, it's okay. This thing that appears to be changing, this thing that appears to be up and down and all around, it's not who you are. I am. Okay, so it's really fascinating. This will be a real fun exploration together, because we've made such an identification with this device body in person. Person seems a little bit more flexible as something to identify with. But even that, I mean, it's that changes so much. The person that I'm using has changed so much, and the person, like the body, probably the person more than the body, the emotional, mental person, has created great challenges, great conflicts, interference patterns, but still, again, and this is the thing that I'm trying to offer from this perspective, I, Sun King, always would show it, the person, who's boss, what's real, okay? So the person kept having these moments of epiphany, typically after a great disaster, some deep depression. It would run this interference pattern that would show up as sickness or depression or injury or something. And then it took, typically a few days for it to go through its little trauma, little pouting session. And then I would show it again what's real. And it, the body of the person of Louis, would, oh my God, would have this awakening, like, I see again, I see clearly what's real, what's important, what's whatever. It was again opening to my presence, because I am this steady state. There's no ups and downs, there's no epiphanies. At my level, there's just this steady state of reality. Okay, so it's fascinating, again, operating, speaking to you from this perspective, the body and the person going through all these shenanigans, all of these events, all of these things that seemed to it interesting or important. It presented a series of desires, addictions, but none of those things changed what is true, because I am what is true. And I was always looking through those eyes. So I can remember this moment when I was looking through these eyes and looking into a mirror, and the I am calmly was allowing the person to break down in tears, great sadness, because it had been trying so hard to run away, to hide, to stop me, Sun King, from fully possessing it. Okay, it was like it was in this struggle. Go with the energy of Sun King, which is so beautiful, or go with something that would be a disaster, something that would annihilate me, or whatever. It's just like Sigmund Freud would have called this like the Eros. Okay, so Sun King is Eros, this unstoppable life force, and there's also this Thanatos, this death wish. Okay, so the body and the person, really the person, has this death wish, because it believes that it's in some impossible situation. Because see, it's identified with something very small. It's identified with something very fragile. The individual seedling, if you're involved in growing, you could, I'll do a box of seeds, or I'll have, Louis work with a box of seeds, germinating hundreds of seeds, and most of those seeds the seedlings will die. They won't get the space, the light, the water, nourishment, or whatever they need, so they'll perish. But the life itself, the ones that do succeed and get planted in a pot or in the ground and become a plant or a tree or whatever, it's like Eros, the life force cannot be stopped. The individual form gets stopped all the time. So that's part of the dilemma that we as these higher beings have in dealing with our devices, the body and the persons, that those bodies and persons don't necessarily succeed. for very long. They don't maybe stay around long enough to fulfill this function that my body and person, 69 years on the planet, is fully able to fulfill now, because there's no longer any energy, or not enough energy, this thanatos, death wish. The interference patterns have pretty much fallen away, so that I, Sun King, can fully assume control over this device. Okay, this is a good thing. So this is what we, again, as enlightened, see, it's even kind of silly to call it enlightened, because the I am is just what it is. Just it just is. There's really nothing enlightened about it. It is actually light. So you might say that the individual, the device, appeared to become enlightened, which really means that just all the resistance fell away. The resistance fell away so that your higher self might fully flower. Okay, so we're witnessing the full flowering of a beam of this light-filled energy manifest in the world through this device, this body and person, in this place outside of Cuenca, Ecuador. But these are the 1,000 points of light that Carolyn Myss spoke about. Us, okay, the collective awakening, full manifestation of the Christ, the second coming, complete through us today, and we are the salvation of the world, okay, because we are creating a new earth out of the ashes. We will witness the beautiful dissolution of our former species, our former devices that were not really very effective. Okay, we could look back at our history, and the density, the interference patterns were so great that really there was not much opportunity for us, these light beings, to fully arise. That, you know, the culture was such that many of those who were able to manifest, to channel this energy, were exterminated, burned at the stake, or nailed to a cross, or whatever. It was, you know, it's not a popular thing. Truth, beauty, love, this energetic reality is not popular with those seemingly possessed by evil, possessed by Thanatos, you know, this destructive force that wants to, again, but like we've talked about before, inertia, that energy that would try to stop the Sun King, this energetic flow, it loses. It's always lost. And this is why in this story, it keeps getting played out in the space-time world. This story always comes to a happy ending, because that's what evolution, that's what the unstoppable force that I am, that you are, your true nature, must win, because it's so much more powerful, and it's beautiful to see. I mean, and that's why I'm saying spend time in nature and see how successful nature is in the most adverse conditions. Nature, life, this energetic reality always wins. You know, humans get, our former species got lost in the negativity of, oh, look what we can do to hurt nature, to stop the life force, to destroy all that is good. Well, it's not true. It's not true. There's just cycles we go through, and if we, those, you know, again, this perspective that I'm representing as Sun King has been here for millions of years, has seen everything. Endless cycles, endless repetitions, this story that in the world just gets played out, you know, the Buddhists probably have it the most accurately. They just see these cycles, but the Mayans and the Incas and other cultures have certainly also seen this beautiful cycling of life and death, life and death, life and death. But the key that I'm offering you is that all through those cycles, there's always been this steady state of this powerful, energetic reality, because it's eternal, it's ever present. And people have interpreted, humans have interpreted it in all kinds of goofy ways, making up stories about avatars and having different opinions on something they would call God. Well, there's no extant deity. There's no being. I'm it. You are it. We are it. It's something that's beyond our words, what it is. But as it manifests, see, this is what's exciting about life on Earth, because we get to participate in this manifestation that is so beautiful, so profound. I mean, it's the reason for your existence. Okay, for Louis' existence, you're as humans, as bodies and persons, is this event that I'm representing, that you are invited to be a part of, the full flowering of it. Don't need to call it God, don't need to call it Jesus, don't need to call it by any name, because it doesn't have a name, but it is real. I am Sun King, evidence of it. I can speak clearly from the source, which is outside of this space-time world. Again, remember, the valuable function that you are called to play is to be a direct messenger, a direct conduit, running as little interference pattern as possible, and giving your life, giving your energy, your energetic reality that you are, using your communication device, your body and person, to fully manifest this joyful presence. Through your creativity, your enthusiasm, your joy, you show, you demonstrate the unstoppable force for good. It's not really good. There's no opposite to what it is. So there's no this whole thing that seemingly gets played out in the duality of the world, good and evil. It's just energy. It's just unstoppable energy, and it's radiant. It's, I mean, even we're using words like beautiful. It's beauty is ever present. There's really no opposite to beauty. There's no opposite to truth. There's no opposite to light. There's no opposite to love. This is an energetic reality that shimmers, and it only appears in this duality, this world. It's like you can open or close, open or close, open or close the spigot, the portal, close and everything appears dark, close and everything appears negative, everything appears, the human experience of depression, of anxiety, of whatever, it's simply, they've closed the portal. It's not open. Okay? Caught up in the body and the person, it's shenanigans. It's, again, it's just a misuse of the body and the person. Open the portal. And this is available. So the whole thing is that in any moment, you can choose to open, and you can choose to keep it open. You're choosing, again, you, okay? You're your Sun King, whatever you want to call it, give it a name if you choose, it has the power to open the body and the person, this portal, okay? So somewhere along the line, if the portal was not open, and the portal of Louis was not open in certain moments, but I broke it open. For whatever reason, it's hard to really understand why the body, why the person would want to suffer, would want to be cut off from its source. This is just one of those mysteries, perhaps, of our relationship with humanity, that it would choose to close, to shut off the source, and then it suffers. It's like, again, the little seedling. If you deprive it of oxygen and of light, of water, it will suffer and it will die. But it's not that the life force wasn't available to it. It just, there was some kind of a blockade, some kind of a disruption. So again, speaking to that part of you that knows everything that I know, everything that Sun King knows, it's like you have the ability to commandeer the body and person that in this incarnation you've chosen to use for your delivery. So speaking to you, okay, the timeless you can do it. You can take your communication device and hey, slap it up, say it's time, baby, it's time. This is the time. This is the time we've been in the space-time world waiting for to fully flower. This is the time. This year, this decade, this is the time that all prophecies have spoken to. It's exciting. It's an amazing experience to see, again, these entities that we are that have been around for thousands and maybe millions of years. I mean, we've always been, it's like eternity is beyond conception, but it's like, imagine the delight now that's happening across this realm of like, wow, planet Earth, it's becoming ready. It's becoming ready to do this thing we've been waiting for, to do our happy dance. I mean, imagine, you could imagine us, the way humans talked about aliens. That's what this is. That's what we are. These aliens relative to them that are going to pop up all over the place. So, we don't need spaceships. That was all just sort of a made up thing. We travel through the timeless realm. There's no space. There's no spaceships. but this thing that people have spoken to, that these funny looking creatures would show up. That's, again, the limitation of the mental human to sort of understand what we are, what in reality this is, making up angels, making up entities, making up alien intelligence, whatever. It's just that at the disconnected human level, that's what this would represent to them, something very bizarre, very strange, but wouldn't it make sense that this thing that is coming out of the eternal realm would be beautiful? Not something that would harm the planet or harm the species. No, that we would come to transform the planet and the species that we're inhabiting. It's it's an amazing thing. That part of you that can hear me and say, wow, that's really, and again, don't make of it like, oh, it'd be very easy for your person, oh, well, he's just crazy. He's just crazy, or he's whatever. It's as real as anything you've ever known. And I believe there's a part of you that understands that this is what is real. All the rest of the monkey business of humans, temporary, not real, temporary. It's a temporary situation, just like in the personal experience of this communication device I'm using. He appeared to go through all these temporary states, up and down and all around. All of it was temporary. His purpose is what's happening right now. His purpose was to be prepared, to be groomed, to be the best possible communication device he could be for me, Sun King. I've been grooming him. I've been preparing him. This thing that used to seem like something else, Holy Spirit or whatever, it was always me. Okay, the me that's now speaking, Sun King, speaking through Louis. I was preparing him. I was grooming him. I was caring for him. I was the one holding him when he appeared to be a broken little boy, a broken young man, a broken middle-aged man. I was the one that was holding him, caressing him, whispering to him, pay attention. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. It's a beautiful story. And it's a story that I hope you can tell using your prepared communication device. Tell the story of your full flowering, your Sun King, energetic, radiant, beautiful, true self. The world is waiting for you, not your communication device. You clearly using your communication device to demonstrate truth, beauty, love, power. Each day I get to do this with you, now clearer than ever. It's going to be just a daily celebration. Let's do this. Let's rock this world. Let's birth our new baby, our new species, the new species this is normal. Okay, this is what the new normal is going to be. We communicating with each other using these beautiful, goofy little communication devices. But again, our species now defined by the Sun Kings. Use whatever name you want. These radiant beings using the body persons. And then it's suddenly like the world re-identifies with a new reality, because the new reality is defined by us. The new species, the new manifestation of truth, beauty, love, power, light. Here we go. Rock and roll. I love you so much.